Brass.
Band on the run. Brass band on the run.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, loyal viewers, we've just figured out which side's our good sides here. You're here, you're watching another live, or perhaps it's a recorded version of Brassbanned on the Run. We've made it to Eaglehawk. I'm standing here with Ken Wellard, who is the musical director and conductor of Eaglehawk Citizens Band.
Welcome to Eaglehawk. It's great to see you here.
It's great to be here. You guys have an amazing band hall. I was just looking at all these old photos on the wall. There's trophies in the cabinet. And you were mentioning before, some of the bricks in the walls are actually handmade by former band members.
They were made by the original committee from the 50s.
Yeah.
It's really great. It's a great example of work ethic.
Absolutely, every brick making a difference. And this amazing hall is actually owned by the band. That's right.
It is indeed. We built the hall. We've paid for all the stuff. We own the title to it, so it's ours.
It's amazing. So if you're not familiar with where Eaglehawk is, shame on you, number one. We're near Bendigo, so we're sort of hour and a half-ish north of Melbourne, and Eaglehawk is participating in the open D-grade section of the brass band part of the National Championships. How is your preparation going? How are you finding the test work? We spoke with Jared yesterday. How's it all coming together?
It's been pretty good. The test piece has been really great. I've really enjoyed it. I think Jared's done a great job of it. I think it's really good.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. It is a really good test piece. It's really good for D-grade bands. There's a lot of interesting things in it, and I think it's very evocative. It's got a great story behind it, which we've tried to talk about here in the hall, and we've tried to impress that on the band members to carry the message of the music. The preparation's been pretty good. We're still a little bit light on for some players. Brisbane's a long way away. It's a long distance to go.
I think there would be... I know that there's the A-grade band from Perth is going across, but I think it's a very big deal for any C or D-grade band to make the trek 2,000 kilometres to play in a contest. So congratulations to your band. How is it all coming together with the members who would regularly come each week versus maybe the playing members you'll have on stage up there? Is it much the same or a few small differences?
A few small differences. So we run a slightly different rehearsal schedule. So we do, we have been doing some early rehearsals specifically for the members who aren't going. Mm-hmm. So we do ordinary repertoire and those sorts of things. And then we have a break.
Yes.
And then we go on to contesting stuff. Okay. Our weekend rehearsals are all dedicated to Nationals music though. But it's coming together pretty well.
That's really exciting. And how many rehearsals? Do you have 2 rehearsals a week, 1 a week? How does that structure work in a D-grade band?
So we have 2 a week at the moment. We generally just have 1 a week. Mm-hmm. But up till Nationals we have 2 a week. So Tuesday nights and Sunday nights. And then we do sectionals as well. So we do them generally on a Sunday morning. So we just balance those sorts of things up, as well as a few other playouts that we've got to do in the middle of our Nationals preparation as well.
There's the real work and then there's the contests that you have to do. Eaglehawk has a long and proud history. I know there's a book detailing all the details of the history. You guys were very active at the National Championships until, a few years ago, and then have recently come back. So last year was your first reappearance at a Nationals. How is the band enjoying contesting? What does the future look like for Eaglehawk?
I think the band's really enjoying the contesting. It was a 15-year break until we came back to the Nationals last year in Melbourne. It was a great opportunity, so we grabbed it. And I was really surprised that the band was very motivated to go to Brisbane this year, surprisingly so.
So they enjoyed themselves as well?
I think they did. And I think they're continuing to enjoy the preparation now. Yeah. And I think the future's looking good. We've been to Mount Gambier a few years. Yes. We've obviously crossed paths at Mount Gambier, which has only been something we've done in recent years. Mm-hmm. And we go every second year or so. Yeah. That's been really good. And we still we go to the Bendigo contest every year. And I think this year we might make a attempt at South Street again as well.
Oh, excellent. Exciting times. Personally, for you, what is your favourite thing about going to a band competition? Why do you think it's important? Why do you enjoy going?
We see all our friends.
Yes.
It's the great thing about the march. Everybody wants to can the march, but the march is where we see everybody. Mm-hmm. So last year at the front of Xavier College, I think where it's last year, there's all these people, and there's like 1,000 bands people there, and we're all congregating together. And of course, you see all those people that we met all those years ago on from music camps and things along those lines. And I can always remember I met a bloke on a music camp back in the very early 90s. Mm-hmm. He was a little kid, he was only about this big, and he was a bit of a rat bag, and his name is Dr. Matthew Van Emmerich.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt. Matt's brother actually plays in the band.
Oh, terrific.
So Matt's originally from Bendigo. And I always remember him as just a tiny kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really great to see people that we've known for a long time and those relationships we've formed. So I think banding, it's not just about the contesting and going and winning, although it is great to improve ourselves.
Yes.
But those relationships and those people that we see are fantastic. I met my wife in the band. My brother met his wife in a band. It's really great. So it's the cycle of life.
It's a great social environment, I guess, and I think everyone's really looking forward to the Brisbane Nationals. I think whenever I've been to a national competition in Brisbane, it's always really well organised, well put together, so we're looking forward to another one of those. Street march, change of direction.
Yes.
Left or right, what do you prefer?
I don't know. That's a deep and meaningful question. I haven't considered that one. Sorry. I don't know. I'm lucky because I play the bass drum, so I sit right in the middle. So
Are you doing something fancy on the change of
Yes, we
direction? Can you tell us a little bit about that, or is it strictly under wraps in case any of those competing bands try and copy?
It's strictly under wraps.
Oh,
Strictly under wraps.
I very much look forward to to seeing that.
I think I might have overstated ourselves there.
It's all about marketing. It's all about messaging.
That's
So
right.
it's going to be amazing, whatever it is, whenever it happens.
Someone will be impressed, even if it's just my mum.
Hi. Yeah. What else can you tell me about the band? Are you looking for new members? Where do you draw your members from? How can people join the Eaglehawk Band if they're in the area and they're interested in getting involved in community music making?
So the band originally formed in 1884. We've got a huge diversity in players. So our oldest member is actually 95. He's not coming with us to the Nationals this year.
Yeah.
But they struck you know how we get those service bars?
Yes.
We had to strike a special one for him because he's had 80 years in this band. 80 years. Pierce Grenfell is his name. He's a great fella. He was a gun cornet player when he was a bit younger. And he's a great icon in our band because he's a great mentor for the younger people. And I defy anyone to find an organisation or a movement where you can have a 95-year-old and a 10-year-old sitting next to each other and be equal.
That's amazing. It's such a great learning experience as well. And I'd be struggling to think of anyone participating in the banding world in Australia with over 80 years of service. Anyway, that's remarkable.
So the band is from a very small community.
Yes.
So we are a northern suburb of Bendigo. We like to say that Bendigo is a suburb of Eaglehawk.
That makes sense to me, yes.
It does. Yeah. We used to have our own council until the amalgamations of the councils in the early 90s. So we've still retained our community and our community feel. And so we're pretty proud of our representation into the community and what we do. So we're always looking for newish members.
Right.
We take diverse people. So we run a skills program for younger people and older people. We've had a few people who've come into the band who've, say, been older, say in their 50s, and they've taken up an instrument.
It's never too late. It's never too late to get engaged with community music making, and Eaglehawk might just be the place to do that.
We've got a couple of great examples of people who've come because their kids were in the band and they've started playing instruments. It's really great.
That's awesome.
So a great diverse range of contesting and playouts and music. And we are D grade, but hopefully we're on an upwards trajectory.
D grade doesn't mean bad though. D grade just means you're playing a certain level of music and you can still play that really well.
That's right. And of course, in the last few years, we've had some really great bands come out of D grade. Of course, you were at Creswick earlier today.
Creswick, yes.
So Creswick's moved up into C grade. Katrina's doing a great job at Creswick. Wally Pope obviously did a great job with Ararat, and Ararat have moved up into C grade.
And some of these regional Victorian bands are just so strong, and I think it's really fantastic to see that strength. Bands sort of have a tough time sometimes keeping going or doing whatever they need to do, but Creswick, Ararat, Eaglehawk, onwards and upwards. It's fantastic for Victorian banding and fantastic for banding nationally. Thank you so much for what you're doing here.
Oh, it's just what we do.
Yeah, but without people like you, it wouldn't be happening. So thank you for your contribution to banding in Australia. It's sensational.
Oh, no, that's great. A big shout out to Brassbanned, because I've got to say, if there's one great thing of banding now is the live streaming. It's really great that the live stream can reach all sorts of people. So I think you do the New Zealand.
Yes, look after New Zealand as well.
So I was actually re-stumping my house at one stage, and I had the iPad in a plastic bag under the house watching the New Zealand Nationals. So the live stream is great for people who can't get there. It's a really engaging thing. So we're all in this together.
Yeah, and for me, it's about the inclusiveness of trying to bring the live stream together and that community feel. And as you said, it's seeing all your friends at the Parade of Bands and seeing 1,000 people that you know. Hopefully the live stream can increase that circle of 1,000 friends to all the New Zealanders.
Yes.
Let's make that 2,000.
That sounds great.
Now, we have a little bit of a special brass band care package since you've agreed to appear.
Oh.
So, all sorts of little toys and merchandise. What could possibly go wrong?
Who's this bloke?
I don't know. This is a very old photo there.
Very handsome, isn't he?
Yes. Look what happens. Look what happens, all of yours.
Nothing like a bit of shameless promotion, is there?
Absolutely shameless. But absolutely best of luck. We hope to hear your very best performances on stage. And more than hearing your best performances, we hope that you really enjoy your time at the Australian National Band Championships in Brisbane.
Thanks so much, Tim. And look, it's great to see you here, and thanks for coming to visit us.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.